Serious question. How are people surviving on minimum wage right now? I mean, rent, groceries, gas, all of that is very, very expensive to live on your own. So my question to you is, how are you surviving right now, currently, in today's society?
Americans are struggling to get by. Gas is at $4.55 nationally, $5.65 in Hawaii. Food prices are rising at the fastest rate in years. Electricity is through the roof. Millions of people are losing health care. Hospitals are closing. Housing is unaffordable for many people, and everything from clothing to electronics costs more because of the tariffs. And what the Republicans are telling the American people now is not that there's not enough money. There is enough money, apparently, for a ballroom. Apparently, there is enough money to quadruple the size of ICE. Apparently, there is enough money to spend $1 billion a day on a regime change war of choice. There is enough money. What they are telling you is that there's no money for you as an American. And that's what we're fighting against. What they are telling you is that they want to enrich their friends and do escapades in Cuba and Venezuela and Iran and everywhere except your community, your kitchen table, your family. And that's why we're all so united in fighting this ridiculous proposition.
Hello guys, white Americans are desperately asking for help as they cannot afford life right now in America. Kindly watch this show coverage till the end so that we can be on the same page. Share your response on the comment section below and let us know how the inflation rates in America is affecting you. For those who are new here, I am Marvin. Please do hit the subscribe icon below for more topics like the one we're discussing here right now. I keep on honoring white Americans, the MAGA fraternity and supporters voted in for Donald J. Trump. They were doing this so that they can punish black Americans. In this video, we will not see a single black American, a single black person complaining about the current situation in America. It is only the white folks who have longed to live a fancy life. Electricity bills are rising, health insurance is becoming expensive, and the current salary people are getting paid in America cannot handle their day-to-day activities. Trump took away the SNAP benefits, he scrapped away the EBT cards of which they were meant to help the low-income earners in America. How do you see this going on? America right now is in inflation, which means American citizens cannot handle the rising cost of life. And we have a backup video of how these things are happening. We are not dealing with rumors. It is information from reliable sources. Stay with me, and at the end, I will have more strong commentary on this episode. Let's watch.
So I just had a guy tell me that the economy is booming and that the only reason people are struggling is because they're not working hard enough. Yep, so for all of us struggling, we're just not working hard enough. Does this guy realize that today there are people who are making $30,000 to $50,000 more a year than they were making 3 to 5 years ago, but they are struggling more today than 3 to 5 years ago? Has this guy walked through a grocery store? Has he seen the price of chips? Has he seen the price of cereal? Has he seen the prices of anything? Does he realize that we have elderly who, in order to put food on the table, are having to go work at Walmart even though they're 80 years old? Does he realize that people who are in their 30s and 40s, who do have a job, who do have a good career, have moved back in with their parents because they can't afford the price of rent and they can't buy a home right now because the interest rates are so high and the prices of homes are still high? And then you add on property taxes, and then you add on home insurance. People can't afford that. And it's not as simple as go get a better job, go get a second job. It's not that simple. Telling a mom like me to go get a second job when I'm already working a full-time career and I already have a 2-hour commute every day, I don't have time for that. Okay, so what? I go get a second job and now I'm never with my children? How is that worth it? Oh, and now I have to go pay more daycare expenses? How is that worth it? Okay, we have a lot of people in this country, in this world, struggling, and the answer is not to bury your head in the sand and act like nothing's going on. Do not tell me the economy is booming. The economy is not booming when people are struggling the way they are. And when I mean people that have good jobs, who have good degrees, who have 2 incomes coming in their house, and the family is still struggling. That's not a booming economy.
Living in America right now feels like a punishment. You wake up already behind, you go to work just to stay broke, and you watch the cost of everything rise while your paycheck doesn't move an inch. Groceries are a luxury, rent is robbery, healthcare is a joke, and somehow we're the ones blamed for not budgeting better. People are working 2-3 jobs and still choosing between food or gas. Families are crammed into apartments because buying a house became a fantasy. You can't afford to get sick. You can't afford to rest. You can't afford to exist. But they keep telling us the economy's strong. Strong for who? Because it sure as hell isn't the people doing the work. We're out here treading water while billionaires build rockets, politicians trade stocks, and corporations raise prices just because they can. We were promised opportunity. We got survival. And what makes this worse is watching people blame themselves. Like somehow you failed because you can't afford a one-bedroom anymore. Like you didn't do enough when the truth is the math just stopped adding up years ago. They told us to work harder, but never told us they'd change the finish line. This isn't a country full of lazy people. It's a country full of exhausted ones. Simple as that.
I don't know who's out here living the American dream, but I can tell you one person who isn't, and that's me. I have 4 kids and I'm working 3 jobs and I'm still struggling. I have my full-time job. I'm a 911 dispatcher. My other 2 jobs, a waitress. The American dream should not be this hard. I should not have to be working my life away, being away from my kids. You know, sometimes I have to pick. Am I going to pay my electric bill or am I going to buy groceries? Because my kids need to eat. This is not the American dream. I'm so tired of struggling. You know, so many people are going to work, working multiple jobs just to pay for a house to sleep in, just to put their head down at night. This is not the American dream, not my American dream. That's why I started posting here on TikTok. So hopefully I can slow down some so I can spend time with my kids. Life shouldn't be this hard. I know one person that's making 6 figures and they're still struggling. Why's it gotta be so hard? Anyways, if you want to help this mama out from struggling, you know what to do. I'm headed into work at Buffalo Wild Wings today. I have to work a double, say a prayer, I make some money.
How are people surviving financially nowadays? Because me and my husband make decent money. We only have 1 child. We have regular cars. We're still paying them off, so we have car payments. We live in a decent area, nothing fancy. And I feel like we're constantly struggling. And there's people that make less money than me and us, actually, and they're living wild lives. Like, are people just racking up all this debt? Or am I just doing something really, really, really wrong? Because I feel like I'm always trying to pay something off, or I'm always on a budget. And then student loans are due next month and nobody's talking about it. Like, how?
Isn't it insane that wanting a normal life now is considered a luxury? Like, we're not asking for yachts. We're not asking for mansions. We're literally just asking for a life that doesn't feel like drowning. A place to live that doesn't take our entire paycheck. A car that doesn't require a loan longer than the relationship that got us into it. And groceries that don't feel like a punishment for trying to eat. We're not chasing some billionaire fantasy. We just want a fair shot. We want time with our families. We want energy after work instead of collapsing on the couch, praying that the weekend feels longer than 6 minutes. We were told, work hard, be loyal, show up. We did. But while we're doing everything right, they kept moving the finish line. The rent went up, the food went up, the bills went up, but the paychecks haven't done. And the people at the top still have the nerve to tell us it's not that bad. Brother, it is bad. If being able to afford a dentist appointment means going into debt, if missing 1 day of work means falling behind, if a cart of basic groceries gives you anxiety, that's not a personal problem. That's a broken system. So if we sound angry, it's because we are. We're tired of being lectured by the people who've never struggled, while we're trying to survive in a system designed to keep us desperate. We don't want luxury. We just want our lives back. And the fact that even that feels like asking too damn much tells you everything.
So what happens if nobody can afford anything? If prices keep going up like they have in the past 5 years, what happens in 5 more years if they keep going up at the same rate? I've seen so many stories from around the world of housing has doubled in this city, or electric bills have tripled in this city. At what point can nobody afford anything? I honestly feel like we're already there. So many more countries are dealing with homeless crises. You hear more and more about cities just becoming absolutely unaffordable. All while there's less and less jobs. Applying for jobs takes years at this point, and if there are any jobs left, they're being taken by robots. So what's going to happen? Seriously, we have to be on the verge of something, right? I mean, it cannot trend this way forever. I just went to the grocery store and bought 4 things and it cost me $25. A single cabbage cost me $14 in Florida in the United States of America. It was a fairly large cabbage that made a lot of kimchi, but nonetheless, one vegetable should not be costing $14. I've completely stopped eating meat. I'm a vegetarian now because I can't afford meat. It's just also exhausting. I don't have the answers, and I'm hoping maybe you do. Or what do you think's going to happen? Because at this rate, I think nobody's going to have anything in a very short time. And I find that very scary.
Americans are so broke and they desperately try to justify their brokenness. I always get Americans tell me, but the people in Mexico, they only make $20 a day. You make $25 an hour and you're still broke. Sure, you drive the newest car, but the bank owns it. It's not yours. Let me see that title. You call yourself a homeowner, but your house is made out of drywall and paper, and you're going to be renting it for 30 years before you even own it. Sure, you went to college, and yeah, sure, you have a degree, but you're going to spend the rest of your life paying for it. Sure, you have the newest iPhone, you have name brand clothing, you have all the nice things, but your credit cards are maxed out. Most of Americans are one paycheck away from being homeless. The United States runs on credit. The United States runs on debt. Americans cannot function without credit. Instead of the United States of America, it should be called the United States of Minimum Payments. But according to Americans, we're the broke ones.
Hey, I have a question. How are we, affording life right now?
Hey, everybody, aliens are real. We don't give aliens. We're trying to afford a roof over our heads. I refuse to continue living my entire life like this. I'm not going to struggle my entire life.
I'm just really tired of not being able to do the things that I want.
Prices on everything are up, from food, gas, rent. Instead of $60 to fill up your gas tank, it's $140. Instead of 99 cents for eggs, $3. Rent's going from $3,000 to $5,000. All up, and wages aren't going up fast enough.
Wages have gone nowhere. So what did most of us have to do, myself included, with the extra $400 a month I was spending on gas? I had to use my credit cards. Even with 3 jobs now, I'm not even going to make a dent on those credit card bills. I seriously want to know what the end game is, because soon we're not going to have any money for anything anymore.
So why are we working so hard to make money for other people to use and steal our income just for us to never see it?
I don't know what to do anymore. I don't. I just don't understand. At one point, I thought I had some sort of a purpose.
I'm working just to basically pay bills, just to survive.
Why can't we all collectively come together and agree that we just don't want to do this anymore? If our backs are their table, what do you think is going to happen when we stand up?
So $130,000 a year is now becoming the new poor. Right now, the average household income is $83,000. That's the median household income. But then if you do the math about the taxes they take out of your paycheck, the cost of housing, the cost of transport, the health insurance premiums, and childcare, if you look at this graph, you're going to see that $83,000 on the average cost will leave you $10,000 in the red, right? And to be comfortable, based off of the old 1960 standard of poverty rate, it was based off of how much it would take a family of 3 to eat back then. So she would take that number and multiply it by 3, and that number would be the golden number. They'll spend a third of their money on food, and everything else would comfortably fit within the other 2/3 of that number. But back then, food was the most expensive thing. Housing was cheap, transportation was cheap, and everything. But by the modern standard, if you take that same metric she used back then and shift it to now, you'd have to be making $130,000 to be comfortable the way people were under the same metric, the same mathematics back in the 1960s. And it's incredible to hear that number, $130,000, 6 figures is the new poor. But it makes sense when you consider everything is considered luxury. All the prices have gone up. Even my cat's angry about it. I hear her screaming over there. She knows it's ridiculous that everything is a luxury because not everything is luxury, but everything is getting that premium price tag because they're slapping luxury on every good we consume. And if you want to eat real food, even that's considered a luxury. So they're putting extra money on that as well. So even though I feel like it's really crazy to consider, that number is actually correct. $130,000 does seem to be the new poverty line for a family of four. It's hard times out there, and I know a lot of people are like, I'll make that type of money, but it is hard times out there because of unrealistic expectations from the millionaires. And as you can hear, my cats are very outraged by these prices as well.
So I'm at the point now where I think it's cheaper to go out to dinner. I went to the store tonight. I bought a pack of ground beef, a pack of buns, a bag of potatoes, and a bottle of oil. How much do you think that cost me? $50. $50 for a hamburger dinner to make French fries and have hamburgers on a bun. No lettuce, no tomato, no cheese, no bacon. Hamburgers, buns, oil, and a bag of... I make pretty good money. Thought I had a good job. I think it'd be cheaper to go out to dinner than to buy hamburgers or to make hamburgers and French fries at your own. Has anyone let the government know that people can't afford to? Are we supposed to live off ramen? This is insanity. This is insanity.
This is why the average American is struggling and complaining about wages and the cost of living. Here's the math. There's about 80 million Americans making $50,000 or less. And these are essential jobs that we need to operate this entire country. And they are being underpaid. $50,000 after taxes, 401k, and health insurance is $2,900 a month take-home pay in 2026. Let's say they find an apartment with utilities for $1,500 a month. Let's say that they do a perfect budget of $100 a week for groceries. They don't eat out. They don't do DoorDash. They are perfect when it comes to their food. $400. Let's say they get a used car well below the average for $300 to get them back and forth on their 45-minute commute. Then they have $150 for car insurance, $150 for gas, $150 for cell phone and internet, and $100 for personal care. Leaves them with $150. And they have no student loans and no credit cards. How is somebody in America in 2026 who is financially perfect, zero debt, investing in their 401k, budgeting to the dime, has $150 left over? How do they go on dates? How did they travel? God forbid, what if someone passes away in their family and they have to go travel out of state to the funeral, or a friend is getting married? They would have to put that on a credit card. We have built an economy that if you're perfect, you still have to have a second job in order to make progress. And it's so exhausting to hear people just throw out these things. Would you ever think about cutting your expenses? What are you gonna cut? This person is perfect. The wages have to go up, or we need to cut taxes on the first $100,000 and allow people to keep their money.
How are people affording life right now? Literally. My car insurance, for example, went up back in August. No wrecks, no tickets, nothing. I have no DUIs, like nothing crazy. I'm a middle-aged driver. Anyhow. But I was signing up for my benefits for this next year, and guess what? Doubled. Literally almost doubled. Health insurance. I don't even use it. I get like my normal stuff that's preventative, that's free, but I don't even use my health insurance. I literally don't. Knock on wood, thank the Lord above. I break a leg or something, I have it. But now I'm going to be paying like, I think $600 and some a month for insurance when it was only $300 something. Am I getting paid more? No. Nurses usually get like a 2 to 3% raise. Sometimes the cost of living adjustment. But yeah, I'm gonna have to quit going to the casino. I already quit going to Goodwill. I can't give everything up that I like. As long as wine doesn't get too expensive, we'll be good.
Why are white Americans complaining? Why are they asking black Americans for support? Black Americans for the longest time possible have adapted to living in harsh environment. It started in the transatlantic slave trade. It is not something new to them. They have learned how to handle worse situations other than inflations in America. White Americans want black support. Black people this time round want white people to feel the FAFO. It is something they wanted. They were clearly warned against voting in for Donald J. Trump, but it fell on deaf ears. Now that things are getting out of hand, they're busy running back to black Americans to help them. Fafo is here with them. Kindly let them embrace what they voted for. The midterm elections are around the corner. Which leader will you choose? Sources are saying that Donald J. Trump is planning to rig the midterm elections. What do you have to say about this? And Democrats have a higher percentage of winning these midterm elections as opposed to Republicans. Which side between the two would you go for? Kamala Harris was right. She warned white Americans that time will come when they will feel the loss, they will feel regrets, and it is here with us here today. White Americans are regretting their votes, and on the next episode, I'll showcase to you how MAGA are leaving Trump. Trump is on his own because his principles and ideologies do not rhyme those of American citizens. It was a nice session engaging with you, and please and kindly let me know a response on the comment section below, and I will humbly respond to you. Let others know what you think. Let others know your stand today. Thank you for watching, family, and goodbye.